Hey folks, this is Johnny. Welcome to another home studio trainer show, and I hope you're having an awesome day. All right, what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at changing the tempo in a song that's been quantized to the grid. There's a couple of things to look into as far as being able to make deep and gradual changes or just making step changes according to the grid. And there's a couple of different ways to do this. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I've also been getting a lot of questions on the type of videos that I'm doing here. Some people are actually asking why I don't do more of the in-depth stuff, like, say, Joe Gilder or Lucas. And the reason is because guys like Joe and Lucas, they're already doing those. So for me, I'm kind of sticking with the beginner crowd, as I always have. But, however, I did want to mention that if you guys have an idea for a video, let's say one of those guys does a video, you want me to break it down as only my crazy way can. Say, hey, Johnny, I saw this video with this. I'm not kind of grasping, some of the direction here. Can you kind of break it down? I'd be happy to do that. Also, if there's a subject that you want me to cover that no one else is covering, I'll be happy to do that. So go ahead and leave a comment in the comments area. I really want to get the comments areas going in the videos to really engage with some discussion. So please, if you have anything to say, good or bad, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to delete bad things unless you threaten my family or something. Yeah, please leave them. If you have any suggestions for the show, please let me know, because this is a show now, and there is a video every day, although today I'm a little bit behind. I have yesterday's and today's video to do. So this video is for Thursday, July 6th, and I'll be doing the July 7th show in a little bit. All right, so getting back to the subject here, actually using tempo changes to take a quantized song and make it sound a little more natural. We're going to go ahead and do that, but before we actually get into it, I would love it if you would like and subscribe and click the bell to get notified, and if you really like me, please become a member. There are 3 super affordable levels that you guys can choose to support the channel. I'm trying to build up the channel again. I'll never get to the point that I was at when the hack occurred. It took me 12 years to get to that point. So I'm really doing this now more as a hobby as opposed to a business. So things are a little bit more casual. I do have a couple of Patreon members, but I would really appreciate it if you would become a member here. If you're a Patreon member, go ahead and move over here. But the only advantage of the Patreon members is that all of these videos go over there and they're ad-free if you're a Patreon member. So keep that in mind when you do it. All right, so here we are back in the classroom, as I like to call it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the song, The Love I Lost. This is a song I wrote when I was testing the M-Voice 1 program. Oh, and I'm also using Synthesizer V. Stay tuned for videos on that. I have to admit, it's a little bit more expansive than M-Voice and a lot easier to use in some ways. So I'll be doing some videos on that as well. And what those are like AI vocal programs, since I can no longer sing, although I do have my talking voice back, which I am very, very happy about. I still couldn't carry a tune in a bucket with God's help, so that singing is out of my jurisdiction now. So I'll be doing videos on those. All right, so for this particular song, I have it all set, and I recorded it to the click and everything, and it's got some really cool parts, and the vocal isn't really terrific as far as dynamics and stuff like that. It was really one of the first songs that I tried to get down with the AI vocal, but here's a little taste of it.
As I sit here waiting for the punishment that I face.
It's a cool voice. I love her voice. And then you got the chorus. All right, so you see that I just made a change to the quantization here. And I'm going to show you why I did that here. Okay, so for this particular song, I would like to actually hear the choruses speed up just a bit and then kind of back down to make it sound a little bit more natural. Now, I've already used some of the humanizing options for some of the drums and some of the MIDI tracks and so on and so forth. So those actually work really well. I really like that. But usually the tempo of the song, I mean, if you're in a band or whatever, if you can play a song at the entire perfect tempo through the whole song, you are gods. So not many people can do that. And sometimes I do like the songs that kind of boost it up a little bit in tempo, just a hair, just enough to make the choruses, the bridges, or even the solo really kind of kick ass when you actually get to that part of the song. And of course, there are ways to do it too much. I couldn't figure out how to say that. All right, so let's get into it here. Enough babbling. All right, so you see I got two verses here. Okay, now what I would like to do is I'd like to speed it up just a hair. All right, so what we're going to do is first we're going to choose the quantize rate, and I'll show you why this is important. I'm going to leave it at 1/16 so you guys can see what's going to happen here. So I'm going to go right over here, and I'm going to tick the box, and I want to choose the tempo track. Now, there is another view to this for those of you that might not know. If you leave this in, you just have this little hamburger here. I call it a hamburger. If you pull this out, then all of the options in that hamburger, you can see that the hamburger goes away. Someone ate it. And then you have all of the icons for these changes here. And you can open them up accordingly. Now, for me, I never remember what these icons are, and I hate having to hold my mouse to find where I'm at. So for me, it also gives me a little bit more real estate. I try to keep this as narrow as possible, just use a hamburger because they're all titled here. So for those of you like me with a feeble memory, you can do it this way. So we're going to actually click on tempo. All right, so the tempo track is adjusted so you can make real fine, or is adjustable, so you can really make some fine adjustments. Let's see if I can get my verbiage right here. All right, so you can see here's the tempo track. So now, as I click on these lines here, as I move my mouse across, you can see that it snaps to the grid to the 16th notes. So now, if I want to make more detailed changes, I would actually change this to 30 seconds. And I would actually bring this out more. There we go. You can start to see the smaller increments inside as I drag across. Now, it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can. Maybe I don't have the contrast up. Let's see, do I? See if I turn the contrast on, all the lines go away. All right, I guess I do have the contrast up enough. I just wanted to make sure I have everything viewable. All right, so what we have here is a way to really make more subtle changes. And of course, the more I zoom and the more I change the quantize rate, the more I'm going to have available to me here. So I'm just going to leave it at 1/32. And it is the chorus here that I want to adjust just a little bit. All right, so if you're going to make a tempo change, now you're not going to make it like right here because then it's going to go bam. It's going to go from 0 to 60, as soon as the chorus hits. So for a tempo change like this, I want to do this. I want it to kind of start. Let's see if I can expand it just a little more. There we go. I want to see if I can make it start here. And you can see it's at 120. I'm going to bring this down so we can really get some detail here. And just before the chorus, I want to bring it up to, let's see how it's going to sound at, say, 124, just like that. All right, so I'm going to go down again. Let's see if this makes a difference. In my place. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to actually have this come a little bit more gradually here. In my place. See, it's so subtle. Okay, so now we're going to go over here and we're going to click here. And you can see that once I click here, it's at 124. So now I wanted to eventually just kind of go back to 120. And you can even go slower if you want to. But I don't know that. Do I want to do that? Okay, let's see how that works. I'm actually going to go, what is that, 118. So I'm going to let it speed up a little bit and then gradually get slower as it goes into the next verse.
Nothing, and it puts me in my place. Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Gotta take a good look at the level.
Okay, that went too slow. You can actually see the tempo changing down here, which is kind of cool. All right, so let's bring it back to 120. That was a little bit weird. All right, let's go out to here. And now I'm going to kind of squirrel it down a little bit here. So now I'm going to do kind of the same thing here. Do I need to really make the detail? Yeah, there we go. So you can see that your view really depends on the snapping. Because if I have the view here and I only see these, oh, it actually does still snap. Okay, so that's good at least. So let's see if I go too narrow. Yeah, there we go. Now it's only snapping to the bars. All right, so let's get this out here again. All right, so I can get a little bit more gradual snapping. All right, so I'm going to start actually from here, 120. And I am going to go with this. I'm going to go all the way up to 125, just like that. And then for the bridge, I'm going to have it slow down just a little bit to like 122. And then go over here for the verse. And I'm going to go here. I'm going to bring the verse down back to 120. There we go. And then I can, there we go. Cool. That's going to chorus out. So now I'm going to gradually go here and I'm going to let it chorus out really, really quick at 126. All right, so you can see all of the tempo changes here. I don't know what's going to happen, but tell me in the comments, tell me in the comments if you can actually feel the progression of the song and if it feels a little more natural.
Nothing, and it puts me in my place. Oh, yeah. Gotta take a good look at the love I lost and what it
Ooh, I kind of felt that.
I don't care.
I kind of felt that drop. Not sure if I like it.
Try to make it alright. I'll try to make it alright. I don't know what to say now. Take the
Okay, that was good.
one more time. It's something I am sure of. One more time.
All right, let's see if we feel this.
As I sit here waiting for the punishment laid
Okay, that
out
didn't
right.
bother me as much as this.
I can't see my decisions fall, but some things have to go right.
Okay, rock out.
Some things have to go right. The love I lost and what it cost me. Some things have to go right. The
go.
love I lost and what it cost me.
It's like-
Some things
It's like right here, I did this because the band says, wait, we're way too fast. Let's slow down. I think that worked out good. Although I have to say that the only part that dropped too much for me was this right here. I really felt it come from 124 down to 120.
gotta take a good look at.
Yeah, that was too drastic, and I don't know why I didn't feel that here. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm actually going to, oh, I know what I can do. I can actually remove that. All right, so now I'm just going to do this one more time. I don't want to make this video too long. All right, so it's going to slowly drop from 124 to 120 and then pick up pace again for that chorus.
Gotta take a good look at the love I lost and what it
You see it
cost
dropping.
me. I don't care what tomorrow brings. I'll try to make it alright.
There you go.
I'll try to make it
All right, so that was a little bit better. It wasn't so in your face. And what I tried to say while it was playing, my voice just went. You can see here. You could see the tempo actually change as all of the changes are going by in the throughout the course of the song. So there you go. That kind of gives you an idea. Now, the only part of this that sucks is if you're going to send these to somebody to add tracks to, and then all of a sudden they try to actually sync their tempo to the song you send them, there is nothing that's going to fix this. So I don't know if Pro Tools or Cubase has the ability to import a tempo map or whatever. I don't know how that works with those anymore. But so this would definitely be the last absolutely final, nothing left to do thing for your song once you're done. So I would say if you're going to be sharing tracks and stems and stuff with other people to actually add to, try to keep it at a quantized rate so that you can make everybody's life a little bit easier if you're collaborating. Otherwise, yeah, save this for last. It really, really, really helps. I think it kind of naturalizes things a little bit. And if you get into using some of the humanize features, I can actually do some videos on that. For drums, you can humanize about 50%. And again, that's another thing that you can go overboard on. But there are some really cool MIDI features like that. And I think Lucas has done a couple of videos on Humanize and everything like that. I do have Lucas's YouTube channel linked to mine. You'll see it on the main page. You'll see his name in the list there. So definitely check that out, as I do Joe Gilder's. So, yeah. And also take a look at Johnny Libsham. He's got some great videos out there, especially on music theory, which is something that I still can't grasp, and I've got all of his music theory videos on my computer. So there you go. All right, so there you go. That is a little bit of tempo mapping and stuff to make things catch up. Now, you can also use this if you bring in a song that was, say, recorded on a reel-to-reel and you transferred it and made it an MP3 and you bring it into Studio One and you're desperately trying to get a click track so that you can bring in loops or pre-programmed drum tracks, something like Easy Drummer or some of those that actually have pre-played drum parts, or even Easy Keys, which is something I'd really like to get someday. So that would make things like that easy. Otherwise, you just play to it and you're fine. But if you want to adjust the existing tempo of a song to an actual file that doesn't have a tempo map and changes all the time, this is another way you could do that. I got a video out there somewhere. I'm not quite sure if it's still out there. Tempo mapping to an old song. Somebody let me know in the comments. All right, that's going to do it for me. I do appreciate everybody coming in and checking it out. And remember, if you could, please become a member and support Home Studio Trainer. Be the first one to become a member, even if it's just a $1.99 level. I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, you can also support the channel by going to my Patreon. All of those links are in the description here. You can also buy me a coffee if you want. I've got that link in the description. I've got PayPal. So whatever makes you most comfortable, please do that. But if you could, if nothing else, like and subscribe and click the bell and get notified. That also does help me get my videos out there and get them noticed. So I really do appreciate it. Let's go back here. And that's going to be it for me. All right, so this was for Thursday. Okay, I have the Friday video to do because today is actually Friday, July 7th. So this video is for yesterday, July 6th. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video.